Hi, this is Carrie from Scrapyard Chicks, and I'm here to bring you our ornament for our second day. It is this really cute fold-out circle ornament, and I've done this before as a big book, but I wanted to show you how you can do it for a little photo ornament. The nice thing is you could actually mail this to somebody, and then they could unfold it and put it on their tree or their wreath or a garland or whatever. And what we're going to do is we're going to start out with 4 circles. So what you want is you want a circle that is approximately 5.5 to 6 inches. Now you can cut them with your Cricut. I'm going to use 4 different pattern papers. The reason I like to use those is because on the bottom, isn't that cute? You see all 4 patterns like that. It's just really a cute thing. You could use cardstock if you wanted to. So anyway, and then I put my little photos just in between each one of the sections, just like that. So once again, I just kind of scaled down some photos of my dogs in the snow. So this is from some pictures from a couple years ago. Now, if you don't have a Cricut, you could use a circle cutter. There's lots of different things that you could use, or you could use a bowl. This bowl is just a little bit bigger than 5.5 inches. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go ahead and put it down onto my paper like this. Just take a pencil, trace around it, which I've already done, and then I'm just going to take my scissors and I'm actually just going to cut this out. So anyway, it's just a really simple thing to do, and don't worry if your cutting isn't exactly perfect. You could always also cut this out with decorative scissors if you wanted to. It is really handy to have a Cricut because you can use the George cartridge, which comes with most of the Cricuts. Or I think probably there's circles and other ones too. And even with the big expression, it will tell you that it will not cut 4 5.5-inch circles out of 112 by 12. It actually will. You have to kind of trick it. You can either change the size of your photo mat to 12 by 24 or put your photo mat in, have it cut 2 because it thinks it will only cut 2, flip the mat around, put it in again, and have it cut another 2. So anyway, so I'm going to cut out my 4 circles. I've already done all of these. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to take and I'm going to fold it. And what we want to do is we want to fold it so the side that we're going to see is going to be in. So we're going to fold it in half like this. And you can use a bone folder if you want. You don't need to necessarily score this. I guess you could if you wanted to. Fold it in half. And then we're going to go ahead and fold it in 1/4. So when you're doing this, it's kind of stiff. You can kind of work that corner and then just use your bone folder to kind of get that crease down like that. So then we have a piece that looks like this. So now what we're going to do is we're going to open it up and we're going to actually cut it right along this center fold line like so. Okay, so now we have a piece that looks like this. Go ahead and fold these up, and then we're going to fold these back. So we end up with just the bottom sections will be folded into 1/8. And so then you have a piece that looks like this, kind of funky. What we're going to do now is we're going to put some adhesive underneath these flaps. We are going to layer those on top of each other, and that's going to create these little mini sections that go in here. So I'm just going to use some wet adhesive, and I'm going to go ahead and glue that down. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to put together all 4 of my little circles, and then I'll show you how we're going to go through and assemble this in so that we can do our little dates going down the side, and we're going to do a little ribbon loop and a little tie. Okay? Okay, so to glue this together, what we're going to do is we're going to put adhesive on the back side of these little flaps at the bottom. And once again, I like to use a strong liquid glue for this. Come on, liquid glue. Because for some reason, when you're working with some of these pieces, and this one's actually got some glitter and some glazing on it, especially those are hard to really stick down with a dry adhesive. So go ahead and put your liquid glue on there. You're just going to overlap those little flaps on top of each other. Just kind of press that down. You want to make sure you can still fold it like this. You might need to just kind of work with it just a little bit. If it's off at this point, you can go ahead and take your scissors and you can just trim it. And so what you're going to do is we're going to repeat that, and we're going to do that for all 4 of our little circles, so that we end up with 4 little pieces, and then I will show you how we're going to put the rest of our little mini ornament together. Okay, so what I've done is I've assembled all 4 of my little circles, or now they're a quarter of a circle, and we're going to do this little hanging loop that goes along the top. And you need about about 6 inches of ribbon or trim for this, and I picked this really cute ball fringe because I just think it's adorable. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to staple it closed first because I think it'll be a little bit easier to adhere if it's kind of if it's all grouped together like that. I love the tiny attacher. Great little Christmas gift idea. So what we're going to do now is we are going to glue that onto the back or right along the side of one of our little sections. One of the things you want to think about when you put your book together or your ornament together is how it's going to look at the bottom and what pieces when it's folded are going to be next to each other. And I really like the back, this red snowflake, and I wanted, okay, so I'm sorry, I had to change my memory stick. So I wanted the blues across from each other, and I wanted these to be, when my book is folded closed, I wanted those to show. So what I'm going to do is I've got my little loop. I'm going to actually glue it right to this little section of my booklet. It's going to open like this. We're going to glue those pieces together. So I'm going to put some liquid adhesive right along about here, right around the fold. And then I'm just going to go ahead and stick that that little piece down in there. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to liberally put my glue around the perimeter, all the outside edges of that piece, especially where I've got that ball fringe, because it might be kind of chunky. We might have to kind of push that down. And then I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to glue the next section down right next to it like that. Kind of make sure and grab those together. You might have to kind of use your fingers and kind of squeeze it so that that you get a good adhesion, seal, whatever you want to call it, with your glue like that. So just kind of, I like that quick drying glue because it does just help it go together so much faster. So go ahead and, especially with this first section, you really want to make sure that you get the glue really around where you've got that that little hanging loop. So just kind of keep squeezing that with your fingers until it is dry. And then what I'm going to do is I'm just going to keep going. So I'm going to glue the next section right here. I'm going to glue the 4th section right there. So I'm going to go ahead and do that, and then I'll be back and show you how we are going to add the little tie, and we're going to add our dates onto there. Okay, so now I have glued all of my little sections together, so I end up with a circle like this. You want to make sure you give it plenty of time to dry. A little trick as you've got these little pieces pinched together, one of my friends and one of the gals that comes to our workshop weekends, Lisa, gave us Darcy and I these cute little clips. So what you can do is you could clip together your book on the binding just to, as you know, like this, or you can use a clothespin or something like that while you're trying to let it dry. These are just a really great little idea to do that. So and they're cute too, aren't those adorable? So anyway, we've got all of our pages, or all of our little sections all done. The next thing we want to do is I want to put the year kind of going down. I'm going to do one little circle on each one of my sections. And so what I did is, out of my scraps, I went ahead and punched out 4 little 1-inch circles, and then I've got these great glittery thickers that I'm going to use. So I'm actually going to put the circles on first because I want to make sure that the spacing and everything is okay. Now you notice I have some red and some blue. I want to make sure that I've got 2 different color circles. I want to make sure that I get the blue on the red and vice versa, so that way they show up really nice. So I'm going to start with my last one, which is going to be this blue section, and they're just going to kind of go just sort of on the edge. So I'm going to just do a little bit of adhesive, and then I'm just going to glue that down. And whenever you're doing things that are varied, you know, where you want it to kind of go in succession, I recommend starting with the last one and the first one and then filling in between. So this one's going to go red, blue, red, and then so we're going to start with the blue. So just go and put a little bit of adhesive. We're just putting adhesive on about about half of it, so they'll kind of stick out the sides. So then we need to do a red one. If you're having trouble with this, if you're using a glittery paper and it just doesn't want to stick, so we want to vary these so that we end up with them sort of evenly spaced out. If you're having trouble with that glittery paper, use your wet adhesive on this, because sometimes that glittery paper just does not like dry adhesive. Everything just keeps popping right off of it. As we found out when we were doing layouts, you know, you find that out the hard way when things start to kind of come off. So anyway, we end up with these four little circles, I'm sorry, kind of sticking off to the side. So then we're going to go ahead and we can just put some great little glittery thicker numbers on there. So we'll do 2, 0. We'll do 2007 because we've got some pictures to do for that. Or actually, let's do 2006 because I think I have some pictures of the year that we all went to the beach for Christmas. That would be really cute on here. So go ahead, and so I just went ahead and did 2006 going down the sides like that. We've got our little hanging loop. The last thing we want to do is the little, we're going to punch some holes so that we can tie our little booklet together. Oops, I shouldn't have put this down so far because I need to punch a little hole there. So then I'm just going to take my regular paper punch and I'm just going to punch a hole right here, and I'm going to punch a coordinating hole on the other side right there. And what we're going to do is we are just going to loop a ribbon through that and through here, and it is just going to tie our little booklet closed when it's hanging on the Christmas tree. So, or I'm sorry, it ties it open when it's hanging on the Christmas tree. Then what I can do is I can go ahead and print my pictures, and I can go ahead and put my little pictures in between each one of these sections. So there you have it. We've got. So anyway, I did mine with 4 sections, but you could actually add 5 or 6 sections. You have to do at least 4 because otherwise you won't be able to open your circle up all the way, but you could do more if you wanted to. You could do someone's name going down the side. You could do some snowflakes, just whatever you like. Anyway, so this is our project for our second day of Christmas ornaments, and tomorrow we're going to do a really fun little garland to go on your Christmas tree. So that will be super fun. So I will see you again tomorrow. Thanks. Happy holidays from Scrapyard Chicks, and we'll see you soon. Bye.